brought peace to the Middle East. There are Democrats that are speaking out and saying that. And even though that's pretty damn obvious, and I don't know how you could say anything different, it is progress because they are actually giving him credit for something. Before, we always joke, that guy could cure cancer and walk on water and he'd be criticized for it. Look at all these physicians and researchers you're putting out of work. Whatever it is. That's why I made the joke earlier about freeing the hostages and then probably, oh, yeah, he brought over hostages, but 30 of them were dead. He should have acted sooner and got those hostages out of there. Or why couldn't he have done something different so that these hostages were alive? You know, and that's a big thing because, you know, there are concessions. I often wonder, I love my kids with all my heart, but, you know, you think about what's the good for the country and the world. I guess that's easy to say when you don't have a kid there. But those people didn't care. They don't care about giving the Palestinians 5,000 prisoners back or whatever they're doing to get one person or 20 people back. But in the whole scheme of things, who was it, that politician that said some time ago, and you might have heard of him, but they said something like the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. I don't know who that was. I'm trying to think. But anyhow,
really smart person from the planet Vulcan, Mr. Spock, with pointed ears.
Maybe that's the answer. We moved to the planet Vulcan, where they all get it, evidently. But the sacrifice of some lives sometimes, it's good, and that's really where I thought this was going to end. I really thought that Hamas was going to draw a line in the sand, and they were just going to kill all the hostages and that would be it, because I'm still a believer that somehow, some way, once a side loses their leverage, and I'm not promoting Palestinians or Palestine, but once Hamas loses this leverage with the hostages, anything can happen. They're trying to build their base back up, get those people back, because right now they're running on empty. They're about to go down in flames anyways, so that's why they're making this deal. But once this deal is done, now, they may have more people, but Israel is very adept at figuring out ways to eliminate their enemies.
Sure. When you were saying about Democrats not being able to give Trump credit, or you were saying about him still getting the blame, I'm sure somebody has already said it, and if they haven't, give it time, and then that'll be the new talking point, is really Trump didn't do anything about the peace because both sides were tired of fighting. Israel was tired of it. Hamas was tired of it. They were going to quit anyway. It doesn't matter who would have been president. It would have happened anyway. I mean, obviously that's total bull crap. But see how you rationalize? And that's what we're dealing with this two-side thinking. It's not always one side or the other. I mean, come on, people, give the guy credit of what he did. I mean, seriously.
So you don't think there's any pathway back, huh?
No.
So if there's not, then what happens?
Well, social media has totally destroyed it, because I say nearly every night, but most nights my wife checks Facebook and she'll be like, so-and-so, my classmate, can you believe what they wrote and this and that? And 90% of the time it's not true. So I don't know where people get their information, but the problem is if you're on Facebook and all your friends are Democrat, you're not going to say anything positive that has anything to do with Trump or anything like that. You'll be crucified, or vice versa. So I think we're too far gone. I think social media has made everybody more determined in what they believe than ever before. And it's going to be very hard to get people to change their minds at this point. Very hard. It's just so divided. And I don't see it being undivided. I mean, maybe if a big catastrophe happens, say a big volcano blew up and then it made it like cold and, people were going to starve, we'll rally together. When you don't have food to eat and it's minus 10 degrees out, people are people. They're going to help each other out. I would hope that if you were with a group of people in a life and death situation, that you're not going to base on whether you help them or not, on whether they like Trump or not. You would hope